In this video, we will see how to perform the R codes that we just learned a while ago. First is the matrix. To create a matrix and save it in an object type A, this will be our R object. Then call the function matrix with the values in a list C123 321, comma, number of rows and row is equal to 3, comma, number of columns and column is equal to 2. Press Ctrl plus Enter or click Run to execute. Done. We have our matrix saved in the R object A. Type A to view the R object, that is to view the matrix. Now we can access the elements using their positions in the R object in a row columnar format. For example, A1, blank 1 refers first row and blank refers all the columns, so the output will be 1 and 3. We can do the same for rows. A blank 2, that will be our second column, so the output will be 3 2 1. Here 3 2 1 is the second column values. Now if we want to access a particular value from the matrix, then define both the position of row and column in A, like A bracket, that is third row, and 2, that is the second column. We'll have our output as 1. Data frame. Let's see how to create a data frame. First, we will save the values as vectors like student is equal to C 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then pre-module score is equal to C 18 21 23 22 24 and 17. The same goes with the post-module score and the module name graded or non-graded. Now define all the vectors inside the data frame function and save it as an R object. Done. Our data frame is created. Type the object name test scores to view the data. We can also observe that R took the vector's name as the columns of the respective values. Alternatively, we can also perform the same by directly defining the vectors inside the data frame function. Next is the list function. To create a list, again simply type the values inside the list function. Here in the output, we can see the data are saved as list. This is another example using the vectors to save the data as list. To access a particular value in the list, type the object name list $, the list name education. It will show all the values from the education list. Let's go through with some few more examples. Here we have few more vectors where we will add them up to create a data frame marks card. Alternatively, we can do the same by directly using the vectors in the function. Now, do remember, class of the marks card will be always a data frame class. And to access the elements of marks card type, marks card bracket blank then comma 3, that is in the row and columnar format. The same goes with the next one, except this indicates for rows. Now let me give you one more example on how to access the values of the data frame. Let's load the inbuilt RStudio datasets. Library datasets will give the list of pre-installed datasets available in the R. From here, we can call the iris dataset by data iris. Now to view the column names of the dataset, type iris or call names iris. To view the data structure of the iris dataset, type str iris. And to know the dimensions of the iris dataset, dim iris. To know the number of rows and columns, type nrows iris for rows and ncolumn iris for columns. Or we can simply access a particular value from the column by defining the position of the row. Else, we can also define the range of values, that is the rows, from a particular column like this. That is from row 50 to 100. To have a quick summary of the dataset, use summary iris. We can also check the data type of a variable using is.character, then the column name for character data type. and is the numeric for numeric character data type. We also have an attach function to take all the columns of iris dataset and create an individual objects so that we don't have to use $, to call the columns of the dataset. Attach iris. Now call the column name species. Here we are able to access the column values without using $. Now it's better to detach the dataset after we are done with our work with the dataset, as we are aware that R uses system's RAM to perform its task. Detach iris. We can view the working directory of R by getwd command, and also set the working directory by setwd with the file path. The concept GC refers to garbage collection that helps to automatically release the memory when an object is no longer used. It does this by tracking how many names point to each other, and when there are no names pointing to an object, it deletes the object. Next, we will learn and perform how to import and export data in R.